My name is Diamond Trusty, and you're watching the Community Leaders Podcast.
What's up? It's your boy Los LOS, and you are watching the Community Leaders Podcast. And today, I have someone special right across from me, and she goes by the name of Diamond Trusty. What's up, Diamond?
What's up, Los? How you doing?
I am doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great tonight. I really am.
Awesome. Did the limousine pick you up and drop you off here?
Always, black truck service. You know me.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're the first one of this new cohort to actually be on the flavor table, on the new table, in fact.
Fantastic Four. We're in the building, getting it kicked off. I'm so excited.
Awesome. So tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am just a fun-loving ball of energy with an anointing of Christ who likes to make people talk to each other. So,
Okay.
that's just me.
So let us know what you do right now.
So right now I'm a business owner. I own my own business called the Evelyn Experience, where I help people create personalized engagement strategies, and I make them talk to each other and share resources.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that for about 3 years now.
So about 3 years ago, you started this business. What have been your obstacles in this business?
Well, for one, actually figuring out what I wanted to do, finding the true niche within the business, because it started off at just being social media support and, marketing help and things like that. But now it's grown into this entire community management agency where I'm helping people build bridges within their communities, and I'm just loving it.
So what communities do you regularly help?
So I specifically serve the west side of Chicago. So I serve within the Garfield Park neighborhood, Humboldt Park neighborhood, North Lawndale, and Austin.
Awesome. Do you also live in the community?
I do. I live in the Garfield Park neighborhood.
Awesome. How long have you been living there?
All my life.
You said all my life.
All my life.
Okay.
It's funny. I say it like that because it's a kind of a legacy thing. My grandmother has been living in the same home for over 60 years. So we lived the same, I didn't have to move around from neighborhood to neighborhood like other people have. So I've been able to stay in the same home for as long as I could think of.
Okay, awesome. So before this, what did you do before your business?
So before this, I had the audacity to go to college and get a degree. I went to school for radio, TV, and journalism.
Okay.
But then once I got out of that, I realized I wanted something. Let me be honest. I wanted more money, and the newspaper was not going to pay me enough.
Okay.
So I stepped into logistics, actually, with I was telling the truck drivers what to do and planning out their routes, and I got decent within operations.
Yeah, that's good money in that.
Yeah.
Now, I know that.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
I got a guy that actually owns his own company.
Really?
Yeah, he does great.
Yeah.
Does
yeah.
great.
It's definitely a money maker and a money move, and it taught me a lot.
Awesome. So we're going to go through your life a little bit here. All right. But before we do that, let us know something about CLF that has changed you or you're appreciating right now.
I am appreciating that CLF has given me the opportunity to look at every version of myself. And looking at every version of myself, I'm able to go back and recognize all the steps that I took to be able to get here. And I'm just being more appreciative of my journey. And being able to be in a space with lots of like-minded people who are also taking those same steps, it's brought me a community of people that I'm so excited to connect with and be around. And I'm just excited to be able to learn more of myself as well.
Awesome. So your experience first hanging out with CLF was at that big old church.
Yes.
Yeah.
That huge church.
What was it? The summit, right?
Yep, the Global Leadership Summit.
So how did you feel about that? What did you learn about that? Did you find it beneficial?
Extremely beneficial. And it was actually a full circle moment for me because the first time I was in that church, I was working. I went to go work a gig, an event gig, because I have a specialty and a passion for events. So I went to go do that. So being able to be the usher, be the person guiding people to the seats, and to come back and be in the seat was absolutely surreal. So I learned so much about what it actually means to be a leader, and I used to always think that I was too sensitive or too emotional about the whole thing about being a leader. And all the speakers really taught me, like, this is about your journey, this is about your story, and this is about the experience you want to be able to create for others. And it kind of like, put a stamp and confirmed a lot of things that I was already doing, and that I just need to be able to move forward in and have the confidence to grow in.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. CLF does great things, and it does makes leaders leaders.
Yes. Shout out to Alex and Dr. Jermaine and Dr. Orr. They are incredible leaders, and I feel honestly honored to be led by them.
Awesome. So can we dive into your life?
Please do.
All right. So who was Diamond at the age of 5?
At the age of 5, man, I was actually nice. I was actually nice, but no, I was just this little kid who loved to play, had a huge imagination, loved cartoons, loved stories, loved being around her family, and just loved doing what she wanted to do.
Awesome. Full transparency. Me and Diamond actually go to the same church together. We're actually in the same ministry together. So full transparency, if you see us having a little bit more fun than usual, it's because we know each other.
Because I've already been connected.
That's
Got
right.
connected, been connected.
Let's go. So at the age of 10, who was Diamond?
At the age of 10, man, that was the girl who was learning her attitude and was taking the responsibility for a lot at a young age. And, just learning how to navigate through friendships and what it means to be a child of God. And, yeah, just learning my way through the hood. Because, I had the opportunity to, be around so many different communities. My home was in the Belmont-Cragen neighborhood, but I went to school in Garfield Park.
Okay.
But I went to church in Bronzeville.
Okay.
So it's like I had all of those different things, like all those different communities to be able to connect with me. So it was like, I'm not going to lie, it was kind of hard, Because it's like, being in all those different communities, it's like I'm figuring myself out. Like, church says you got to be this way, school say you got to be this way, other people say you got to be this way, cousins say you got to be this way. And it's like, I also have the audacity to be cool with both sides of my family. So it's like, learning all of those different ways of being around so many different personalities and experiences. It was tough, but I'm forever grateful for it.
So I'm not going to let this pass by because you said something, and it's still with me. You said you were learning your attitude. What does that mean?
Basically, that means that I was learning the person that I wanted to be. I was learning, even at like a very young age, like people are like, Diamond, you have such an old soul. I'm like, yeah, people don't even know that I'm only 29. Like, I was learning how to be able to respond to things and what was in my control and what wasn't in my control.
Right.
And at the young age of 10, I really thought that everything was in my control. I thought that everything happened for a reason and that everything that I did was a reaction to what I did. So I felt like I had to control and navigate it all. So learning my attitude for me meant basically take the experiences for what they are, and then how are you going to respond to it, right?
Okay.
Are you going to be this? You got to be this, because like I said, I used to be nice, and I used to be this like little cool kid. I used to always like want to play and things like that. And then as I got older, I'm like, okay, Diamond, now you got to be an adult, right? you gotta grow up. You gotta get it together, right? So it was like, now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what to do. I'm gonna tell you what to do. I've always had that command and control, so that never went away. But just trying to learn how to be able to connect with others in that type of way without being angry all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. At the age of 15, who was Diamond?
15. I was the administrative assistant, actually. I had an internship at Neighborhood Housing Services.
I was going to say, you're 15 years old.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I had an internship. There was this workforce development program that United for Better Living that they did. And they would send out students to different sites to be able to learn different skills and things like that.
Okay.
And my aunt was my site manager as well.
Okay.
So I had the opportunity to be able to learn about sensitive information and going out to connect with the community, to be able to tell them about the community garden that we had or the farmers market that we had. And she will also want a choir to come and sing every Saturday. So I had projects of being able to look up all the churches in the neighborhood and go around to those churches and ask them if choirs want to come sing at our farmers market. So that was really the start. At 15 years old was the start of Black community leadership. Yeah.
That sounds interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was going around when you're 15? So what grammar school did you go to?
I went to Lower Ward School back when it was on Franklin. Now it moved to a different building.
Okay. So at 15, is that high school? That's
15, yeah, that's high school.
Never heard of it. Is it a small one?
Yes, very small.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, it has to be small.
Yeah, it's very small. I mean, in the Garfield Park neighborhood, it's not that small, but most of the people in that community went there. But other than that, yeah, it's like 200, 300 kids went there type deal. Yeah.
So can you tell me a good memory at that 15-year-old age? Something top of your head.
I actually wrote a letter. I was in this program, a summer program called Columbia Links, and they had us write a letter to the chief superintendent and Mayor Rahm Emanuel at the time about violence and what's going on in Chicago. And my words, because I was living in I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the kids, they was from the suburbs and things like that. So it's like violence didn't really touch them like that. So they were like, really receiving of it. But my story and what I had to say in my words, really touched a lot of people. And from there, so I kind of lied. This isn't my first podcast, actually, now that I think about it. I was on radio shows. I was on Windy City Live. And I had the opportunity to basically go about and speak about what my concerns were about the city of Chicago violence.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was one of my favorite memories of being 15. Because that was like right before I started high school.
So, 20 years old. Who's Diamond?
In college.
What college?
I went to SIU in Carbondale, absolutely.
Okay.
So it was a party school, honestly, but I had the opportunity to go there earlier and see the campus and do journalism camp and things like that. And that's when I realized that I want to be able to be a community connector. I wanted to be able to help spread the good news and be able to show people and teach people different things in different ways. And I realized I had to learn how to communicate in those different ways. So instead of me just, doing a regular journalism degree, I actually double majored in radio, TV, and journalism, and then minored in PR, and then minored in new media. So I was able to get all of those different aspects about being able to learn about community and how to connect with one another and being able to actually write stories and things like that.
Awesome. So what was your best memory in that college?
My best
Other than partying.
I know, right? Tell people all the time.
I mean, we'll talk about the partying. Go ahead.
I am party out. SIU, you could just look it up online. But my best memory from college would have to be the lifelong friends that I created and friendships that I got from it. I have 4 amazing best friends who I met during freshman year of college, and we are actually still close till this day. I'm the godmother of their children. We fly from state to state, drive from state to state to be able to see each other, and that will always be one of my most grateful things that I got out of that, because they always used to tell you, get the good grades, get the degree, but honestly, it's about the experience.
Okay.
And I've learned that because of the people that I decided to surround myself with, I was able to have an amazing college experience.
Awesome. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit before we move on to 25, a little bit about your home life. Mother, father, sisters, brothers.
Yes, I have my mom, my dad. I have a sister, a big brother. Small family, immediate family, but huge other family. Have lots of cousins. I think the last time I was doing a project and I counted, I have over 256 cousins.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just sitting down with my grandma one time just doing a family tree. And I was just trying to figure out like how many people are in this family? Because my grandma was talking one day and she said, yeah, my mama had 13 children, and I thought I was going to have 13 too until I realized I had to take care of all of them. And then that's what made me thinking, like, wait, if she had 13 children and the person before her had 14 children, how far does this family tree go?
Right.
So I have a huge family from, like, in all the states, but we originally come from Mississippi. So, yeah, my dad's from Jamaica, actually, St. Mary, Jamaica.
Okay.
And he is well-rooted within his roots, and his Jamaican roots, and he makes sure that I am, too.
Awesome.
He used to call me Jamaican when I was younger. He used to tell me, like, no, you're not black, you're Jamaican. Like, okay.
Jamaican.
Thanks, Pops. Thanks so much.
How do you spell that, Pops?
Right? Like, where do I put that in between these boxes that they put us in? I don't think I put Pacific Islander. But yeah, my mom, she's from the west side of Chicago as well.
Okay.
Born and raised. She went to Lower Ward School as well.
Okay. Oh.
She graduated from Westinghouse High School.
Okay.
So yeah, deeply rooted within the west side. My sister, she's a teacher now in the North Lawndale community.
Awesome.
So that's a beautiful thing and a beautiful sight to see as well. And yeah, my dad, he's actually does radiology at the Cook County Hospital.
Okay.
And he also has a juice business. So I help him with his juice business called Trust the Land Juice, where he helps sells natural juices to people and helps them with their healing and their energy.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. How long he's been doing the juice thing?
Oh man, for as long as I can remember.
Okay.
But I'm the one who made him monetize it and put like a money thing on it. Got the labels and the marketing and branding together. So
awesome.
Be able to help him with that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so 25. Who was Diamond?
25. Now that's tough. Because it was, even though it was just a short time ago, it was actually one of the toughest times of my life. COVID was happening.
Yeah.
So that was real. My mother passed when I was 23. So I was still navigating life and learning how to do life without my biggest supporter. So that was when I really had to do a reset, and figure out how do I want to be remembered in this world, and how do I want to leave my mark in this world? Because I know that life is not all about what you do, but it's about simply who you are. And that was when the time I took a very step back from everything. I didn't work, business. I just sat back and healed, honestly. Had to relearn myself, had some bad relationships that I had to let go of, And I had to do a whole total reset. I had the audacity to be vegan. I was doing an entire reset for myself. I know, right? Thank you. Because it was easier back then because you could actually afford it. But nowadays, I'm I'm not paying all that money for no fake meat. But yeah, 25 was an amazing journey, and I'm so grateful for that as well, because I was actually not afraid to take the opportunity to sit down and say, "Hey, you messed up. You're only 25, but you don't do everything right, and that's okay. And it's okay for you to ask for help." That was the big turning point for me, because that's when I got a mentor, and I started to really buckle down and say okay, I gotta really figure out what God's plan is, not what my plan is. I can't keep on running on my own and trying to figure out how I'm gonna keep navigating this life. I really have to sit down and talk to God and connect to people, let Him guide my path, because if I continue to do what I did when I was 10 and try to make everything and control everything, I am going to lose myself again. So I have to really sit back and realize what is in my control, what is not, and just make a decision and stick with it. And if you make the wrong decision, make another one, So that was 25.
Do you think the passing of your mother and then going into 24 and 25, she passed at 23, when you were 23, did things shift in in a way where you're like, I'm just gonna wild out, or I'm gonna get more serious. I'm gonna buckle down. Because you're saying at 25 you had to look at yourself and get aligned with God, right?
Yeah.
So did that change when your mom's passing?
Yeah, it did. And I wasn't really like always like, just buck wild. I just wasn't listening, I wasn't paying attention. I just thought life was like, okay, I got a job, I'm doing decent for myself. I'm in logistics, like, I'm making more money than anybody I know, And I was just out here moving recklessly. Like, I paid my bills, like, I was a generous person and things like that. But it wasn't intentional, And after my mom passed, it was like, I'm like, I've seen this before. I've seen how grief can consume people and take over their lives. And I told myself, I was like, look, one thing's for certain and two things for sure. I'm Evelyn's child, right? And one thing she didn't do was sit around and let me be sad or feel sorry for myself or anything like that. And I knew I had to be able to keep that strength. And so I decided, like, hey, I'm not going to bleed on anybody who did not cut me. Let's go. That's not what my mother would have wanted. That's not how I was raised. And I'm sad that I wasn't able to put into play the things that she taught me while she was here. But now that she's gone and I actually can be able to see them more clearly, now I'm going to be able to buckle down and get myself together and show everybody who Evelyn's child is.
Amen to that. Come on. I love that.
Thank you.
So from 25 till now, because I can't go very much further than that.
Yes.
What has happened between 25 and now?
Man, I've been walking in my purpose.
Okay.
Honestly, I connected with a mentor. Her name is Arroyo Johnson, and she is my absolute safe haven. Like, she has mentored me. She has taught me. She has, helped me. We made mistakes together, and we've grown together. We've come back to each other and things like that to be able to reconcile with each other. And I was so grateful for her because not only did she want to be able to grow for herself, but she also taught me, like, you have to grow for other people and the ones who are around you. So because I was a mentee to her, she wanted to be able to grow as well. So me being able to connect with her and help her with the purpose that she was walking in helped me with the purpose that I was walking in.
Awesome.
So she owns a staffing company called Fear Staffing Services.
Okay.
And that's when I stepped into event management. Not just little events. I started off doing a parade, and I never did a parade before. So it was like something that I say I walked in my purpose because the first day that I worked with her, I pulled a whole parade with like 20,000 people around me by myself, and I wasn't fazed by it at all. Like, never used the radio, had a radio in my hand. I'm leading and managing staffs and telling people and commanding and things like that, and I was able to get it done. And from that, I actually just made 3 years with them. So from that, from that one event, I've been able to go to the Super Bowl, to be able to work at the Super Bowl. I worked at Essence Festival, a milestone year at Essence Festival. We're the employee for working for Afrotech, which is a media company for Black people to be able to get together and talk about tech. Yes, absolutely
Afrotech.
amazing.
Huge,
so
yes.
It's absolutely amazing to be able to, like, do
Can I stop you
these
there
things.
for a second?
Please do.
Can I? Do you have a hookup for Afrotech? Because I need to go to that. I really need to go to that.
I do know some people, But yes, it's an amazing thing to do. And it's like, when I say, I'm not just walking in my purpose, because, like, I could do events anywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it with people who within my own community who have a purpose that I stand for as well. And I'm doing that from San Francisco to New York to Texas, everywhere. And it's just absolutely amazing because I'm like, God, I don't even, I was just telling God before, I'm like, I'm not even concerned about the money. I just want to be able to have fun doing what I do. and being able to walk in the purpose and the glory that you have for me. I said, let me do that, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
You provide.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it has been elevating ever since.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So why do you have this love for the west side of Chicago, and what do you want to do for or in the west side of Chicago?
I have a love for the west side of Chicago because that was the community that made me and broke me. So being able to go to school in that community, have friends in that community, like I said, was working in that community as a community manager at 15 years old. I had the opportunity to watch the community change and grow and see so many different things. I saw heartbreak in the community. I've lived heartbreak in the community when my 7-year-old cousin was shot and killed. And we had to see his murderers get put to justice just this year. And that was over 15 years ago. So it's like I want to be able to not only just push out my family's legacy, but for the legacy of the West Side, because I watched a lot of people put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Yeah.
And there are so many people who don't get the chance, are not going to get the chance to see what the community has to offer. So that's why I'm like so steadfast on the West Side, because I want people who are not here and people who don't even know what this community looks like to be able to know what the West Side does and how we have been stewards within this community, within the Chicago community, for a very long time.
Yeah.
And they need to know about the history and the landmarks and all the things that actually live on the west side of Chicago. And I just don't want to see it turn into, an Airbnb community for people to be able to take the Green Line downtown. Like, I don't want to see it turn into that.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to help it grow and help it nourish, what it already has within the community, those good parts that are in it, because it's absolutely amazing community. It's just that it's just so overturned and overshadowed by all the violence and things like that happens, and I just don't think that's fair.
So how are you going to help in that?
So that's why I created the Evelyn Experience. So Evelyn is my mom's name, and she created an experience for everybody that she made them listen to resources. I always tell the story about how we were just sitting on the porch one day, right before, literally the year COVID happened, and she seen this lady walking up the street with all these bags. And she goes up to the lady. I'm like, Mommy, leave that lady alone. You always messing with somebody. She like, no, I need to talk to her. So she goes tell her, she goes, do you know that the government has a free program where, you can be able to get a free program, get you a free motorized wheelchair, so you won't have to be walking and stuff like that? She told her, she was like, yeah, I heard about it, but I got to have somebody do it for. She was like, well, if you want me to do it for you, I will. She was like, no, I'm going to have my daughter do it for me. So her daughter did the application for her. And a couple weeks later, I'm sitting on the porch too. Why I see this lady riding up the street in her motorized wheelchair.
Come on, somebody.
And I was like, I ran upstairs. I said, Mommy, I said, we got to do something, man. I said, we got to start something. I said, we got to do a consulting company, something. She said, baby, that's not consulting. That's community. And that's what the tagline of my business is. It's not consulting. It's community, because people deserve to know that there are resources out there to help them. People don't have to struggle. They don't have to fret. There are so many resources and people out there that want to be able to help you, and people deserve to know about them. So that's why I help small businesses and resources and people be able to optimize their engagement so that they can be able to tell the right people about what they have going on.
That's good. That's good. So what do you think can you tell me one thing that you know it's missing on the west side of Chicago?
Security.
Okay.
Here's what I mean by that. Not just the safety policies and different things like that. I mean the actual feeling of people feeling secure. People feeling like that they can ask for help. People feeling like they can actually go to a safe space and be secure. And people feeling secure within their own selves, that they're not ashamed of what they are going through. And I feel like that once we be able to hit those marks, we'll be able to actually change mindset on what people have going on, and that we'll be able to actually get them to actually take part in these resources. Because I'm gonna be honest, it's not just that people don't know about them. They don't feel safe enough to be able to take part in them.
Right.
So it's like, how do I, as a community manager and as a leader, go through those mindsets and help shift those mindsets so people can be able to feel safe and secure within their own community.
That's good. So this is the last question. You're doing great. You did great.
Thank you. Just talking stuff.
Just talking stuff. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
I'm not gonna lie, teleportation, because this traffic is ridiculous. Okay, I need to just be able to get there, just to go and go. Now, I know they're working on it, so when they figure it out, somebody let me know first. Okay.
Well, Diamond, thank you for coming down. Thank you for coming down to the podcast and hanging out with me. This was good.
You're welcome.
This was good. It was easy. This was so easy.
Yes, it was. See, I would love to come back.
Yeah, definitely come back.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you so much, Los. And you are amazing. And thank you as well for being a leader to me.